Richard Greer here, got a beer in hand. It's 10:30 in the morning.
Beer. It's a ginger beer. It's not an
Yeah. Good stuff. It feels like you've sort of on a bit of an off-season break. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm going to have a couple of days.
Good on you. So tell me about your weekend. You laid it all out there. You ran really fast. I don't think any of us actually quite comprehend how fast you actually ran. So tell us about your run. Tell us about what your build-up was like, and then also how it unfolded.
Yeah, so 11 weeks ago, a couple of us thought of a crazy idea to put on a marathon championships, New Zealand Marathon Championships, one that was sort of driven by athletes, which is really cool. So I guess if your question is, am I happy? Then yeah, I definitely am around that. We've managed to pull together 80 people, and all those 80 people ran really well, which is exciting for the sport and exciting for New Zealand. And then obviously the organisers and the committee of Athletics Canterbury, helping us, and we're all working together. So that's really good. In terms of my own race, look, I'm wrapped. I put together 12 quality weeks of training, and I felt like we got some good things in place, and 99% of the time I nailed those things.
Better than you've ever done before, like with all your experience and things you've had and different build-ups you've had?
Yeah, I felt like I just felt like I made really smart decisions most days. So it was always, how am I feeling today? Here's a plan. We've got a plan, but hey, look, if we need to adjust, if I need to call Matt and have a chat about it, then we can. Or if I'm going to make those decisions on my own at 6 a.m, how am I feeling, checking in.
Not just training for training's sake because it's on the plan, actually resting and a little bit more as you needed to.
Yeah, pushing workout days out or just not doing them at all if I felt like it was unnecessary, or pushing some days a wee bit harder. So once you start making good decisions, you can, either pull it back or push a bit more, and just trying to make those decisions not based on ego, but more like sensible.
Training to race rather than training to train. So how were you on the start line? You had a bit of a hiccup or so the week prior to race day?
Yeah, so unfortunately just the wee ITB niggle, I knelt down funny at work or did something, and just the attachment into my knee played up, and every time I bent my knee into some flexion, it basically felt like someone was stabbing me with some glass, so it's kind of uncomfortable.
It's not a good look. Okay.
Really, when you want to run 42k as fast as you can. But I think the cool thing that came out of that is that I was really proud of the team that I've put together. From Caden to Wayne and Dawn and Marie and
physios, doctors,
chiropractors. So I guess when you need them, they turn up. And they really did for me that week. So going from the Sunday beforehand, 7 days, not being able to run for 70 minutes, and even to be fair, not being able to run 40 minutes on the Monday, to being able to run my guts out and have my body hold together for 40.8k, that was quite cool, which was a full team effort.
To get you to the start line. So standing on the start line, you were good. You're like, right, we're ready to go here.
Yeah, I think so. I felt, like I knew my body was going to hold together. I obviously had as you do when you're goal setting, you have a gold standard, a silver standard, and a bronze, and then might sit on the side of the road standard. And I thought, hey, look, if I can hit one of those, that'd be great. And then obviously you start and the gun goes and things start changing, and you as an athlete, you never know how you're going to feel. When you have some experience, you maybe have an idea, but you don't really know until you get to that 8, 10, 12, 14, 16k. And I was feeling pretty good. We had a great pacemaker. We had a really great group with a couple of the half marathon guys, and I felt really comfortable. We went through halfway in 67:30. Cam was doing his job, and I thought,
that's just so for all of the rest of us out there. That's an hour and 7 minutes for your half marathon, and you're going to double that. So that's good. Yeah, it's chipping away pretty quickly. Good on you.
Yeah, I felt really comfy. Like, not to brag, but I felt quite good, and I'd had to have some anti-inflammatories during the week, and things hadn't quite gone the way we had. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking, what effect does that? And your body, your mind's trying to figure out any way possible to make you stop.
It's a constant battle in your head, isn't it? When you're at the limit and you're running close to that limit. Obviously, you said you're comfortable. You're not at the limit at that stage, but you're going to get more and more there. Yeah.
So it's the limit of the threshold. And then I sort of, we got through 30k and I sort of started to tighten up a wee bit. And as you do, you go 12 minutes, okay. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, 38 minutes. 38 minutes left. All I got to do is get out to that turnaround, and then I'll get myself home. And so, I was feeling really positive. Like, we were still clipping away at 310s, 311s, and that's what I wanted. So we're on target to run 2 hours 15 flat. And then, unfortunately, I think the week caught up on me at 36 or 37k, which is definitely when things are going to start catching up on you. Sort of
the marathon, The marathon.
Yeah, and I've always said, and I've always thought, and the some of the older guys that I've trained with, you don't really race your competitors in a marathon. You race the distance, and you try and hold yourself together the best you can for as long as you can. And so my body gave me 40.8k at 2:15:20 sort of pace, and then my whole leg locked up, and I think it's probably conversation from the ITB, a little bit of camber, running your guts out. Hey, maybe I should have put some electrolytes in a bottle at 28k. Look, we can overanalyze anything, and I'll sit down later with Matt and we'll talk about it. But unfortunately, full left leg cramp. Had to have a wee sit on the side of the road to get it mobile.
Maybe you need to talk to me about cramp. I've done lots of cramp in my time. Training not to the level that I should be racing at, but that's good. Yeah. So how'd you get through that?
Well, I let out a big F bomb, and then
it's real life, people.
Yeah, real life, and then decided that I wasn't a wimp, and I only had 3 laps of the track to go after I've just run 100 and something laps. So and as you do in any sort of thing, whether you're running 10k or 100 miles, is you break it into sizable chunks. So, for me, running at that pace, 200 metres is about 38 seconds. Yep. So I went 200 metres. Yep. Let's get to 200 metres because then it's 2.5 laps of the track. And then, okay, I'm there. Yep. Look down, right. 41k's up on the watch. Okay, another 200, another 38 seconds. And so you just count that 38 seconds and then you look down.
And the worse it gets, the shorter those goals become. And obviously 200 metres, that's not very long. That you're in a bit of a hurt locker situation there.
Yeah. So and then eventually you get there and you go, I knew that the bridge at Golf Links Road was 600 metres, so 3 by 200. That's all I've got, 3 by 200 metres. And then by then adrenaline, I guess, starts to kick in. And look, my left leg wasn't working. It didn't look amazingly pretty. I think Katie said that might have been the worst state she's seen me in terms of acute pain at a finish line.
It did look really good for the rest of us, just in terms of how the left wing was out, sort of thing. You were sort of like, come on, laying it all out there.
I was battling, but I think when you've run that far and done that well and enjoyed that block, you owe yourself the opportunity to lay it all out.
Yeah, and that's what you want, to be proud of your effort at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think I might have said that in a Facebook post. 18-year-old me made a promise that we'd run 2:15 something. I managed to run 2:15 something for 41k, and I think that's something to be proud of. And then so I just need to find another 3 minutes.
So what's your, like you've said before, I had an A, B, and a C goal. What were they?
So all of them, including finishing. So I guess obviously a goal is to run to your potential. And I thought, everything amazingly well in 10 days leading in, conditions, Dan and I and maybe Andy as well, running as hard as we could together as a group. I thought, 2:14 high. Yep, I think I can really do that. And
you were pretty close to that at the end of the day.
Yeah, I was pretty close, probably up until about 37 or 38k. I thought, yep, I can do this. And then that sort of silver goal was sort of 2:16 something. And then the bronze goal was a sub 2:20. So to finish in the middle, not that I didn't mean that mediocrely, but to finish in the middle after not even being able to run 15k 768 hours earlier.
You've got to be happy with that.
You have to be happy with that, yeah.
And big part of this was actually giving you opportunities to maybe do some overseas trips and marathons towards next year. Does that give you the time of 2:16? Does that give you that opportunity now?
Yeah, it should do. So I should be able to get in. I know it won't get me a free ride, but it'll get me on the start line. And I think, that's what you want, is another opportunity. And keep taking those opportunities until the body perhaps doesn't want to give you those opportunities anymore.
And full credit to you. You're a family guy. You run a business. You're full time, and you train on top of that. And Katie and the family and all your support network. This is one for the normal guys. Not that you're necessarily the speed that you're running is that, but for what you're juggling and able to achieve, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think the working class athlete, and that's what Sunday was about, and that was why I put my hand up to help organise and give those of us, I guess, normal people that maybe do extraordinary things, if that's the cliche you want to use, give us an opportunity to have a go. And I think 75% of the field ran PBs. Phenomenal. Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. Good stuff. So ginger beer in hand, time to put your feet up and I guess just bask in your glory for a few days, eh?
Yeah, I think chill for maybe another day or two and I do quite like running.
Yeah.
Contrary to popular belief, I do quite enjoy it, and I enjoy the social. And I think when you've got an event like that, those last 3 or 4 weeks can be a bit stressful when you're trying to get it right. And so it'd be nice. It'd be nice to put some trail shoes on and go bash away at the Bellbird for a bit and forget about my watch. I'm not even wearing one. Just forget about that stuff for a couple of weeks. Do a bit of swimming, do a bit of cycling. Maybe go for a walk up in the hills with the family. And then sort of look at cross country season and perhaps something towards the end of the year. Yeah,
good. Just enjoy for a moment. And anyone to thank? Obviously, there was a stack of supporters. There's lots of good updates coming through as you're running.
Yeah, I think just everybody. I think if I tried to list names off, I'd miss someone out. We had a couple of people ring-ins pretty late in the piece because Matt got COVID, so he couldn't be on the start line with us. Sarah and Harriet, who were doing bottles at one end, and Phil Harrison was doing bottles at the other end. That was a legendary step in 24 hours before. And then obviously, the whole organising committee for putting up with my stupid idea. Gamblin was swearing my name, and then the next day he was thinking that was actually pretty cool. And the guys from Athletics New Zealand, like Jason and John, and those guys. Then obviously my medical or my support team, who I would not have got to the start line if they hadn't have all chipped in and I think probably Caden's calm hand was what I needed on the Tuesday after I was stressing out a bit. So everyone did what I needed them to do, and I think that's pretty special too.
And the family as well, just so you don't forget.
Oh, yeah, Katie knows. She knows. I was a mess.
That's real life. Good stuff. Well, you go and put your feet up. Super stoked to be able to cheer you on and for you to do what you wanted to do, and stoked that you're proud and happy with it.